Hello, hello. I'm here at Michael Soren Pins, and there's Patrick Ring, our good buddy.
We are live.
We're live, live. And we got Matt this time, so any technical difficulties. I was actually thinking about this. People don't know about our past unless they've been in this thing live, because I think we only have the last one, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, is there any way to upload the other two, Matt?
Do we have the other two?
Are they saved?
No, the only reason the last one's available is because we streamed it on YouTube and StreamYard doesn't record.
They don't record.
You have to pay for the services.
So we have to remember what we said and do it all over again.
Yeah, there you go. That gives us plenty of material to use. That's for sure.
Just practicing.
Yep. So we got a good itinerary today. We're going to talk about some specifics. We're going to catch up. We're going to talk about some media books, some German media books. If you're not familiar with those, they're Blu-rays with really amazing artwork. And I wanted to kind of share the Blu-ray, that collection. And then we've got, we're going to talk about one of the movies each week. We're going to start from the latest one. This is Mr. Patrick's idea. It's a fantastic idea. We start with the latest one, work our way backwards. And then we've got another couple minutes talking about our top 4 Michael Myers actors and who we think the worst was. All righty. Let's get to it. Catching up, my friend.
That should start some fights.
Yeah, I hope so.
Well, just talking about kills is going to start a lot of fights.
Oh no.
Are you there?
You lose me, right?
It sounds like a robot. It's like, do whatever.
Uh-oh.
Did he cut out completely? Are we the
No.
Oh, there you are. Do you see you good on your screen? Like you're still there?
I see. You guys get a little robot-y once in a while. That's probably the internet connection, but
yeah,
you're still there.
Okay.
You gotta get that hard wire in there.
Yes, we'll get the hardwire in there. We'll figure that out.
That's one of the main reasons I moved to PC in here, because I can hardwire it in and it should be okay. Because it seems like that happens a lot.
Well, maybe we can edit this part out of this when we go and save it to YouTube. Is that a thing we can do? Or are we just stuck with this awesomeness? That's cool.
It's a stream. It's caught all. That's why there are YouTube videos of stream fails when people.
Stream fails. There you go. Say something clever in case we go viral for something.
Yeah, we're failing.
Oh, that's funny. But let's catch up, man. What have you been? You got anything for the collection this week?
See, so obviously everybody that's tuned in, we moved back to Tuesdays to make it, it's easier for Matt and Mike, and I'm fine. So since we didn't meet up on Sunday, some things that I did get, I went to FYE. I don't think I showed this last time. The metallic countdown board.
Whoa, no.
So it has a magnet in the back with a knife on it. And I guess around Halloween, you bring it out and you just move it until you get to 31.
No kidding. Where'd you get that?
FYE. I was going to return something at FYE after Christmas. And of course, I figured, let me just see if there's anything here. I turn my head on. I'm like, when the hell did that come out?
Man, we got to look into FYE and get one of those. Those are cool.
And it was the only one there. I would have bought more, but it was the last one. So I got that. I completed the Halloween Kills collection. Well, for now. So I got the 4K and the Blu-ray, and I got the Best Buy Steelbook, which people are selling for ridiculous amounts of money right now.
Really? Shit.
Everybody wait because the prices will drop on eBay.
Are those available right now at Best Buy?
As far as I know, they're sold out. And I saw people selling them up for over $100 on eBay already.
Oh, so they are sold out.
Yep. And
you can only assume if you don't know it's coming and you missed it.
And I finally got from Germany that lenticular.
All right, cool.
To go with the rest of them.
That's so super awesome. We'll have to do steel books. You got a handful of steel books?
I got a handful. Yeah, actually, I got the rest of those here. I only have, I think, 2 or 3 of those media books. Well, when we get to it, we'll go through that. But I think I want to make sure that everything I got. I think that's all. That's what I got in this week. Well, week and a half.
Well, let me grab
Not
something.
bad for you.
This
I saw you posting some good pictures of stuff that came in the store. So
Yeah, some cool stuff. Very exciting. This thing looks really cool. The Halloween Kills. The NECA.
well, I told you the story how mine came damaged, right?
No, did it?
I ordered mine from Nightmare Toys, pre-ordered it. It came, and on the top of it where you hang it, the little hanger, the cardboard hanger,
Yeah.
was bent, like almost broken off.
Yes, I remember that now. Yes.
So they finally sent me a return label, and I honestly got a call from Philip,
Uh-huh.
because it's Christy and Philip that own it.
Yeah.
And he called me today. He's like, "What's wrong with? Why did you send it back? I don't see." I said, "He's like, I saw the pictures you sent me of the damage, but that's not what I'm seeing in this box." I go, "Then you might have the wrong box." I said, "Because the damage was what I sent you back."
Yeah.
And he sent me a picture of one that wasn't damaged. So I said, I'm like, "Did you open the box or did somebody else open it? Maybe they put it down and this, whatever." I said, regardless, that's the one I sent you back was the damaged one. If the one you show me a picture of is not damaged, throw it in the box and send it back.
Wow.
Just as long as it doesn't have that damage."
Wow. What
So
a
hopefully,
trip.
yeah, it was funny. I see a phone call on my phone, and you get so many spam calls. Hey, look, it says Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm like, "What the fuck's calling me from Las Vegas, Nevada?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hi, this is Phil from Nightmare Toys." I'm like, "Okay." So hopefully I'll be getting mine that's not damaged.
That's pretty smart to say it that way. Hey, well, if it's not damaged, just put it back in the box and send it back.
Yeah, I said, as long as you're not sending me one with the damage of the picture I showed you when I first opened the box.
Yeah.
And like I told you, I said, I only sent it back because it wasn't the post office fault, because the box was in perfect condition. The shipping box, there was no damage. It's not like they were throwing it. I said, whoever put it in there, that tab, they must have pushed it through the bubble wrap and bent it. And it bent like that. And I'm like, well, if I have them hanging on the wall back here, I can't hang it up. It's just going to fall apart.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it was cool. So
nothing against Nightmare Toys, but if you need any trick or treater NECA, you can always come to us. We'll take care of you for sure. For sure.
that's it. I have a new supply. I have a new pusher.
Yeah.
New drug dealer.
And you got it in because you look through the box. Some are in better shape than others. You just grab the perfect one to send to you. There you go.
See?
Yeah, win. And that goes for anybody out there. Just give me a call if you need that.
Did you get the Loomis and Lori 2-pack that just Loomis and Michael? There's a 2-pack. Was it Mezco was coming out with it? I ordered so much shit.
It's NECA.
Is it the NECO one? Because I saw somebody post a picture that they got theirs.
No, I didn't get any yet. They're
Okay.
still on back order, and I haven't even been told that they're shipping yet.
I saw somebody post a picture of it. They actually got it. I forget where the hell they were from. I was like, wow.
All
And,
right.
and I want it, but I want, like I said, my problem is all those pre-orders are coming all at once, and the wife's getting annoyed. Like, why is stuff coming every day? Every day. It's like that's okay. You can stagger it a little bit. Right. Like Brett Patrick said, the one with the fire. I saw somebody post a picture of it, I think this morning on Instagram, that they got theirs already.
Oh yeah, that's you can put fire like flames on them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Do you see that? It's like those toys right there, the Lori and Michael, but it's Dr. Loomis and Michael, and yeah, it's fucking badass. You can like put little flame plastic pieces on him to make him look like he's on fire, like at the end of the movie. Super cool.
That's right.
Super rad. Super rad. Well, cool deal, man.
Anything else cool come in that we're not aware of?
Well, we've got we got air fresheners out the wazoo. We got like tons of those.
Oh, the scare fresheners?
Yeah, actually, we got a ton of those, like 5 of each of the ones that everyone that they made. So like we got a handful of those, but not much by way of the collection stuff coming in. It's like I told you, the mentality has kind of changed a little bit with the store and everything like that, because I'm like surrounded by Halloween all day, every day. So it's not like back in the day where, when I was collecting, you get a fix. Like, oh man, I'm gonna hop out. Like there's that time in the day that you go on eBay or something and start looking for your stuff, and you could get that fix of Halloween like right then and there. But I'm kind of like surrounded by it all day, every day now. It's my business life. It's my personal life.
So you haven't been buying then, huh?
Just been,
Except inventory.
yeah, I've been buying inventory for the most part because I've got, like I said, I've got actually announced that I got the grand opening coming on the, what is it, the 27th of this month at 10 a.m. The mayor is going to be here and the whole shebang, the commerce groups and stuff like that are all going to be here. It's going to be cool.
You're gonna have to do some video and put it on the channel.
That's a good idea. We'll do that for sure. That's a
Yeah,
fantastic.
I like to see it. Sure.
That is a fantastic.
I can't be there, so I'd like to see it.
Yeah, I keep coming in here looking, going, I hope this collection doesn't get too small. Everybody still freaks out when they see it, like, oh my God, it's the biggest thing I've ever seen. But as a collector, like I told you, I see all the stuff that I've sold that's no longer here. So it's a real retail psychology mind bender of sorts.
Yeah, everybody that comes in here just from the front door is like jaw drop.
Oh yeah. Oh, like I said, believe me, if I lived anywhere near that place, I'd be in there like every day. I'd be like Norm from TV show Cheers. I'd like never leave. I'd be there every day.
Everybody be like, hey, hey Patrick.
That was it. Pat!
Oh, that's funny as shit.
Oh,
so shifting gears a little bit. So do you have media books as well? A lot of them, a handful of them. Do you collect those?
The German ones, they slipped by me. I looked to see the only media book I probably, if it's even considered one, I got this one.
Oh yeah, cool.
And it actually never even opened it up. The box set, which I believe is that one inside here with some other stuff.
Yep. Actually, is that the black covered one?
This is like it's a blue colored one.
Okay, yeah, it's a blue colored one that's in the box. Actually, I think I got one of the boxes opened over here. I'll go grab it and we'll see what's in it.
And I had a couple of the other German ones, but then the steel books are the only one I got, the lenticular ones, which are, like I said, now they got Halloween 6. I can complete that. I don't know why they never came out with 1 and 2. Wish they would. Yeah, I mean, maybe you know better than me, Michael, with the lenticular ones. I'm not aware of a 1 and a Halloween 2.
No.
Right. I wonder why they never did that.
So I got one that's open. Slides open like this, which is really wacky cool.
Right, that's the one. Yep.
You have to forgive me for the glare. But we got tons of artwork and postcards, and here's even a little folded up cover poster. But yeah, too cool.
I gotta open it up one day. I got it. I never opened it up. I got on the kick where I was afraid to open up stuff like that, but
yeah,
it's just plastic. It's nothing really. Yeah, that's awesome. Like, and that's the thing. I'm like, do I really need another bottle opener? But it is a Halloween one.
Yeah. The bottle opener collection's getting out of hand.
Yeah. Oh, it was in there. Shape 1979. What's up, Dan? I see we got another hardcore collector jumping in.
What's up? What's up? What's your favorite media book? Do you collect media books?
I don't have any of the German. See, you got all those cool German ones, and they must have slipped under the radar for me because I didn't see them. And you can't find them now. They're hard as hell to get.
Interesting. Yeah, when did you get all these?
When? Oh, I've been watching eBay. And then what I recommend for collectors, if you don't already, well, not you, I'm sure you do, Patrick, but you got to find somebody in a different country that you coordinate with so that like they can be on the lookout for this stuff for you because they run into this stuff. And if you're willing to pay the bucks, what you're used to paying anyway, if somebody puts it up, they're going to be $100 to $150 a piece, no matter what.
Right.
So these guys know it, and they're like, well, let's get in on that. So they probably buy them for next to nothing, and then they send them to us for what it could be a bunch of money to them. You know what I mean?
I did have an in. I kind of still do. I just don't talk to them as much as I used to. I work for a German company, and one of the guys I worked with when the company moved. Right now I kind of work on my own. The company I work for moved to Atlanta, so I just work basically remotely and in a specific location. And one of the German guys I was good friends with went back to Stuttgart, Germany. So I would go on Amazon Deutsch and find stuff. Like I found I think that's how I got the German novelizations and that one or two other books and some other stuff. I'd be like, hey, because a lot of if you hit them up, they won't ship to the USA. A lot of the shippers over there, they don't want it because the one guy was like, I would, but every time I do it, I get beat. He gets beat on the shipping because he never charges the right amount. So I guess that's why they don't do it. But he would do that. He'd buy it. He'd buy it for me and ship me stuff. I should reach out to him. I haven't talked to him in a while, but he was my in. He would send me all this German stuff. So I get what you mean. Yeah, because it's easier because if they don't want to ship here, you're dead in the water.
And it's to find these people. Just when you buy something on eBay, just ask. Like sellers love that stuff. When you say, don't ask them, do you have any more Halloween stuff when they've got a bunch listed? That's your responsibility to look for it. But you reach out to them and say, hey, this is a rare item. Do you have any other items that you think I might be interested that aren't listed? And they always come back with pictures of stuff, and you can get a lot of rare stuff. And you're the first grab at it.
Right. And I think I've told you some stories about that, several things. And I've created some relationships with people that I bought stuff for. And I've reached out to them. Hey, you have any more Halloween stuff? I see you have this, but do you have anything other than that? And some have reached out to me and said, hey, you just bought so and such off me. Would you be interested in this? Like I told you, that's how I got a lot of those press kits and reels that I got because I made a relationship through eBay with people. And like the one guy, like I said, anytime you find something, he don't even put it on eBay. He just gets, hey, Pat, do you have this? You're interested? And I'm like, oh, if I have it or whatever it is, and if I don't have it, I'll get it from him. But he's like, before I put it up on eBay, it's yours.
That's what's up. And that's the way to do it. I'm just going to, while you're chatting, I'll just start showing them.
Yeah, those are awesome. I got to get my hands on all those.
I'll probably just show the fronts because the backs just show another.
Yeah. Well, that's it. The cover art makes it. We know what the movie is, but the cover art makes it, obviously.
Oh, man, it's wanting to. There we go. I'm a dumbass. Backwards, it's hard to deal with. Oh, man. Opposite direction. What about you, Matt? Have you been watching more Halloween movies?
I'm not indeed on the grind set.
Hey,
what's the best streaming platform to watch them on?
Streaming platform? I don't know. I don't really watch any streaming platform. I have them all, saved in my computer, or I have all the discs. So I don't even know, to be honest with you.
Shudder. Sign up for some free thing if you don't have Shudder.
I know Pluto TV, which is free, which is CBS. They've been showing the hell out of Halloween 4, 5, and 6. Was that 4, 5, 6?
Oh, so they're just all horror.
H2O and Resurrection. They've been showing the hell out of it.
They have that new Nicolas Cage Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
It's like yours. Something like that. Nicolas Cage pretty much just gets
I love that cover.
Slayed.
Yeah, that's an awesome cover.
This is a Maskernes Day whatever. Maskernes Day Matt or Nat or something like that. It's from I actually have one of the original. Here, show them these for a second there, man. I gotta grab that.
Right when I'm signing up for Shudder.
Just watch out with Shudder. My problem was with Shudder was I signed up. They were giving away a month for free during when the pandemic first started, and then after the month I kept it, and then honestly they weren't showing a lot of good stuff, and I could not find any conceivable way of canceling it.
Really?
Okay. I sent them emails, and they said we're backed up. We'll get back to you. We'll answer you right away. I could not find any, and during that time, somebody actually got a hold of my credit card. It was like a fraud thing, and I got a new credit card, and then they went to rebill it, and they couldn't. So that's how I finally got rid of Shudder.
Did you see that? There's the original. I got one of the VHSs where the artwork is from.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
you got some. I know. I see. The thing is, I started collecting some of the VHS and the DVDs, and then all of a sudden they just went through the roof, and something else would always come up. And little by little, if they stop putting out so much stuff, and I can afford to get other things.
Right.
How many are there total of those?
Oh God, of these in particular,
Were they all put out at the same time? I don't remember.
I don't know the details of them. I was just kind of late in the game to them, like way later. But maybe not. When did these come out? I couldn't even tell you.
Because I'm not sure if they just came out. You know how they just flood something with different variants to make you buy 10 of it? I was just curious if they came out at the same time because I really don't remember.
Okay, so that appears to be all of those ones. I got other ones, but that's one set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 16 in that little set. And then we got another just it's actually going to work its way chronologically backwards because I have how I have them set on the thing. But what does it say?
Good Lord, it never ends with those. Yeah, I know there's a lot of them.
They fill up the screen. There's a lot.
This one's cool. Look at that.
As Mike covers up the key element.
That's an awesome one. I mean,
just Photoshop Mike's face on there.
Yeah. Give him his own cover.
Hell yeah. That'll work.
Now, did you ever go through? Because I remember you had tons and tons of doubles of different VHS and DVDs. Did you ever filter out all those doubles?
I actually started selling quite a bit of stuff for people who, you know, when we started advertising the shop and everything, I'd start getting a bunch of offers online for all these different, you know, all these VHSs and things and DVDs that people see in the background when I do a video or something.
Hey, you finally hit on one I have. I do have the Rob Zombie Halloween one. I got that one.
This one?
What is that one?
Yep. That one I have.
Cool. That's a good one. And then these are kind of boring, but
did you do your auction on Saturday night?
I did.
How'd you do?
It didn't go as great as I would have liked it to. It was good. The energy was kind of lacking. I've got to come up with, because I'm just doing this for fun and having fun with it. You know what I mean? So I never took the time to stop and think out the what could it go wrong, what could go right kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So I'm finding out that like I got to set boundaries on how they can bid. Like, hey, do me a favor, say you're out if you're done, that kind of thing. Because
right,
it drags on for a while. And then I started getting complaints because people would keep bidding, but they were taking forever to bid, right? So I'd be on the same thing for like 20, 30 minutes at a time. I had one dude said he went to KFC and got some food and came back. It was the same item. So, yeah, I got to set some boundaries, and then, you know, it's weird because you put up some stuff and people go nuts for it. You wouldn't think it was going to do anything. And then just the opposite with stuff you think is going to sell and nobody bids on it.
It was funny because I remember the original when you were originally going to do it on Friday night. So I was just real busy because, like I said, Saturday was my daughter's Sweet 16 party. So Friday, I'm sitting there in front of the computer. I'm like, oh, great. I grabbed the beer. I thought you were going to do your auction. And I'm like, why doesn't he start the auction? It's like a half an hour into it. Then I clicked on it. I said, oh, it says Saturday. Oops.
Yeah, sorry about that.
So, no, I wish I could have caught it. That's why I figured I'd ask how it went. I was busy partying it up Saturday night.
All right, good deal. Well, that's really awesome. Tell her I said happy belated birthday. All right, let's discuss one of the movies.
Halloween Kills.
Halloween Kills.
Fire the shots now. Halloween Kills.
Halloween Kills. That's the only problem.
Evil dies tonight, Michael.
Oh yeah, there's a couple of problems. I don't know why I advertise it like that because there's quite a few problems now that I think about it. We just have to go through it. But overall, it was a good movie. It's kind of like I don't know if you saw it, and I won't give any spoilers, but I just went this past weekend and saw the new Scream movie too.
Yeah, how
And
did you like it? Because I saw my brother at my daughter's party Saturday night, and he's like, "Did you see the Scream yet?" I said, "No, I haven't had a chance to between last night and the party." He's like, "We went last night." He didn't care for it. I said, "Just don't tell me anything, because I'm probably gonna go see it anyway."
yeah, you should. You should. Well, it's with these franchises, especially Scream. To be honest with you, you're just looking to make sure it's not a bad movie. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
you could tell right away when they got the cast of Dawson's Creek, it's gonna suck. You know what I mean? And you see certain people are gonna be in it. You know the movie's gonna blow. But
Yep.
so that's like with Halloween Kills. I was very curious to see if it was going to be Corky, the reunion stuff. You know what I mean? Because you knew all these people from the old movies were going to make an appearance, and I personally was just wanted to see if they were going to make it real corny. You know what I mean? Like, how are you going
Right.
to make it believable that these people still talk to each other 40 years later, and I don't have one motherfucking friend from school left? I don't think. You know what I mean? Like, and these guys, I think they did try to touch on that with the bar scene and talking about how they get together every year or something like that, right?
That wasn't a bad concept. The whole bar thing, the way they did it with him doing that whole speech was kind of quirky.
Yeah.
And
And I've done karaoke in bars, and you can't even fucking get people's attention when you're screaming at them doing fucking Ozzy Osbourne covers. You sure as fucking gonna stand there and tell a ghost story as an old grown ass man, and everyone's gonna watch.
yeah, that part it was. I was excited to see bring all those people back, and I mean, I can narrow down this. The flashback scene was great.
Yeah, those
That
were
was
kick ass.
superb. Then I had hope when they were in the bar and they were introducing. Okay, my God, I guess that's how they all know each other, because you're going to think to yourself, well, how does Tommy Doyle
Yeah,
know Marion, the nurse?
yeah,
Because in theory, she was in that car and that was it. There was no Halloween too. So, but I guess, obviously after the fact, it must have seemed like she still worked for Dr. Loomis. And they probably knew Loomis, and they kept that, all together over 40 years. And then the whole thing with the reunion thing was okay. It wasn't too bad.
right.
Once they left the bar, that whole middle part, I don't know. I just lost interest. In the
Yeah,
middle part, the whole hospital scene. I mean,
I
I
think
lost.
Brett Patrick nailed it. Did you read what he wrote?
Who? Where?
Brett, everything and anything with the mob and the hospital was rough. The new
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. I lost interest after they left the bar, because the bar was pretty
Mhm.
cool. The whole drone thing was an awesome kill. You can't complain about that. That was awesome. When he killed the people, the woman who was the graveyard keeper,
Yeah,
that was awesome. But the whole hospital thing, like the hospital thing started out okay, because they're like, okay, let's see where it goes. They find out he's still alive, and then Frank comes in, the cop, and he's all there. But then it just got then that whole little middle part, if he just took that and went and dropped it off,
yeah.
the rest of the movie wasn't bad. I don't think it was bad. And then, you have so many people that get so crazy. Oh, it was an abomination. It was a dumpster fire. It's like, have you seen Resurrection in part 5?
Yeah, or
I
H2O.
mean, or H2O, or I mean, I don't want to piss on anybody's thing. I love Halloween 4. I think it was great. I said, but that was canon from Halloween 2. You tell me how he magically grew back 2 eyes.
Yeah, good point.
So, I mean, don't go sit there and say this was far-fetched and crazy, whatever. He regained a lot of things he lost in Halloween 2, not to mention burning the hell out of him, blowing him up, shooting out both of his friggin' eyes. But in
It's
Halloween
funny,
4, everything grew back. So,
you
and
get
I love those
blockbuster
movies,
type
but
movies, and that's what's funny about it. You get these blockbuster type movies like Forrest Gump and shit like that are like timepieces, and nobody's like ever jumps in there and says, "Oh, they have this product and that didn't come out until this year." That's bullshit. You know what I mean? But they attack these little horror movies that you know are gonna fucking suck with
Yeah,
the plot and shit like that. But I think that's part of the charm. I
it's
think
it's unrealistic to begin with, so I don't understand what people are expecting. Did they say "Evil Dies Tonight" one too many times? Was there cheesy dialogue? Yeah, but
300
but
too
have
many.
you not seen '80s slashers, late '70s, early '80s slashers? The dialogue was horrible, but that's what
Yeah,
we loved about it. That's
yeah,
what I loved about all those slasher movies. The acting was horrible, it was cheesy, it was campy, and the dialogue was ridiculous. So
Mhm.
everybody's like, "What?" I think people were expecting it to be like, get nominated for an Oscar. No, come on, it's a horror movie.
Yeah,
Just have
exactly.
fun with it. Did the middle part in the hospital suck? Yeah. Could they have
Yeah,
done different things? Yeah. But is it the worst I've ever seen? No, it's not the worst I've ever seen. I go and people are just so, and it's also people. It's just like it's this cancel culture thing where people just jump on something that everybody else doesn't like, and they're like, "Oh, it's horrible. It's a dumpster fire. It's about how do you like?"
yeah, that
I was
firefighters that everybody was trying to say
oh,
was
that was ridiculous. But
Why?
I don't want to even bring politics into it. But we know that Jamie Lee Curtis is an executive producer, and we'll just leave it at that.
Oh
And,
yeah, there you go.
and I'm hearing a lot of things, through the grapevine about what Halloween Ends is going to be about, and I don't have high hopes because she's bringing a
Really?
lot of because she's bringing things into it you don't need to bring into it.
Oh, you got an inside source, eh?
No, I just been watching what people are talking about it, and you see certain things online and little things that she's saying, like, "Oh, people are," I forget what the hell the actual quote was, but she's. I mean, you can see the themes that she stuck in Halloween Kills, so I don't have high hopes of what she's going to stick in Halloween Ends because basically the things that sucked about Halloween Kills were the themes that she stuck in there, which was all the shit in the hospital.
Uh,
It wasn't the flashback. It wasn't the ending. The whole thing with Big John, Little John. I thought that was hysterical. I love that.
mhm.
That whole party, Big John, Little John. Not to mention, and I love Michael McDonald. I used to watch Mad TV all the time. He was awesome. He was hysterical. I
Oh
was
man,
I was floored when I saw him. I'm like, is that the guy from Mad TV?
yeah.
So I loved all that
Oh
stuff.
yeah, he wasn't. Yeah, I recognized him as that too. In 2018, did you ever see a show that was going on Nickelodeon, Pete and Pete?
Pete and Pete?
The Adventures of Pete and Pete, these two redheaded brothers named Pete.
No.
Oh man, it was huge in like the 90s and stuff. But anyways, for the people out there, Artie, the goofy guy that was like the superhero that would walk around all goofy, is actually the dad, Karen's husband, and all that. But yeah, it's weird to see them nowadays pop up in those because they're cameos of cool people. But
I remember. Did you ever watch what the hell was that show? Actually, I think it's still on that TV show, Mom.
no,
With
never
with
seen
the, I can't think of the blonde girl's name, but she was the one that was in the Scary Movie franchise, the blonde girl in Scary Movie.
Ferris, Anna Ferris.
Yeah, she's in that show, Mom, and her mom in it was one of the guys she was dating was the father from Halloween 2018, and he was hysterical. He was funny as hell. So when I saw him in that movie, I'm like, wow, he's in Halloween 2018, and he was trying that little bit of comedy with the whole peanut butter on your penis thing. I don't understand what they were thinking about with that. I guess too much.
Well,
They were smoking pot again. Too much Pineapple Express pot
yeah, that was funny.
when they were writing that shit.
But no, okay. So what was good about Halloween Kills, like I said in the past, is that it didn't have too many cringe moments, and the cringe moments it did have were not so cringy. Like
Right.
when Busta Rhymes smacks him around and he just turns around and walks away. That's a super cringe moment for me.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, like I said, I told this story about how back in 2002 when I went to see it with my wife, and in 25, 30 minutes in, the film broke, and they gave us a voucher to come back when it was fixed. Then I came back and saw it, and I'm like, and I talked to my wife. I said, after we watched it, and she's not a fan. I just like shit. We should have known when the movie broke not to come back.
That was a
Must have
sign.
been an omen. And actually, I'm looking. Oh, but right, what Brad Patrick, what Pat? I feel they decided to let Jamie Lee do that just to convince her to do the new movies. I think that I heard a lot of stories about that she wanted to put a lot of different narratives in the movies, and so I'm, if there's a lot of people out there that hate H kills right now for certain things, what I'm hearing they might do, you're really gonna hate Halloween Ends.
Rob Zombie's wife is coming back.
Rob Zombie's wife.
We're gonna bring a Sherry Moon Zombie in.
Good call, Matt. He knows
Yeah.
just how to rile somebody up.
Well, we're all patiently waiting for Rob Zombie's The Munsters. See how that turns out.
I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of the Munsters to begin with. That was a little bit too primitive for me. And the White Horse is coming back as well. Right?
Yeah, the White Horse. Oh God, please not the White Horse. It's funny because when we talked about doing the best and worst actors from the movies, and we'll do our list, but yeah, one of them I was torn, and because I won't spoil it till we get to that, and I'll explain why. But yeah, overall age kills for me, I enjoyed it. Is it the best one ever? No. Do I think 2018 was better? Yes. Do I think it's better than some of the other ones in the franchise? While there's the nostalgia because I'm older, I mean, I remember seeing them, like I said, every movie in the theater except for one.
Mm-hmm.
I said I have the nostalgia for the ones in the late 80s, but I think they did a great job. The dialogue was cheesy, and it did irritate me at certain points, but you have to you have to take off your Siskel and Ebert hat and be like, look, I'm not a reviewer.
Yeah.
It's a freaking cheesy horror movie, so the dialogue's going to be bad. Some of my favorite horror movies, the dialogue is atrocious, but it's a great horror movie. Go watch Sleepaway Camp. I love Sleepaway Camp. Go watch The
God,
Funhouse.
I was just thinking about that today because I got the poster in here.
Yeah,
right.
the dialogue's horrible in those early slasher movies. It's like, but you love them. They're your favorites. They're awesome. So it's like, just like it for what it is. Stop it. Everybody's got to be a critic. That's why people ask me, "Oh, Pat, rank this." I go, "Who gives a shit what I think? I'm just going to tell you, this is what I like." And if you don't agree with me or don't like it, that's fine. But there's too many people that, oh, you're crazy. You know what the fuck you're talking about. This other thing. I'm like, why? It's what I think. It's like, you can sit there and tell me Halloween Kills sucks. You hate every aspect of it. All right, that's your opinion. I'm not going to get angry at you. But these people, if you look online, they get so freaking angry. It's like, what? Why are you getting angry? Who cares? It's a freaking movie.
Another thing is, I'll be 39 next week, and
getting old.
Yeah, I feel like I'm getting older, and I gotta be careful to preface going to the movies with, "You're jaded. You've seen everything already. Like, you're not an excitable teenager anymore. Like, relax. Just go watch it and enjoy it. Like, you don't get very many of these moments." And that's what I've kind of deduced it to in my head, because they're super entertaining. It gives you fun, like, it's almost like the holiday Halloween. You look forward to them coming out, and when the day comes, it's like the greatest thing, like Christmas for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Excuse me. So if it's not perfect, start to finish, so be it. Like Brett mentioned.
Exactly. So just don't suck. Like Resurrection.
Exactly. I mean, and Brett had mentioned, like my son is a huge Star Wars. He can tell you anything about Star Wars, which is hysterical because I laugh. Like when they started bringing all the Star Wars stuff back in, maybe I forget how old my son was, because I mean I can think back to 77. Yeah, I'm definitely dating myself because I remember back in 77 seeing Star Wars in the theater. I had the freaking bed sheets and the comforters and the blankets and all this stuff. And then when my son got into it, when they started coming out with the trilogy, with the Phantom Menace, Revenge of the Sith, and all the backstories and stuff like that. And he knows it better than I'll ever know it, because I haven't watched any of the new ones in years, especially since Disney took over.
Any of them.
Yeah, you've never seen any of it, but people get so passionate about that. But even my son says, he's like, he goes, I talk to people about the Star Wars stuff, and they don't get anywhere near as violent as you friggin' Halloween fans.
That's funny.
I go, not me. I go,
Yeah,
some
because we
people.
don't have much to hold on to. If you're a Star Wars fan, you can, if you wanted your Star Wars fix, you can go anywhere. And you know what I mean? Everywhere you go, there's Star Wars out the ass. So don't take away our Halloween stuff. We're gonna be violent and picky about it, and touchy.
Disney Plus picks up Halloween. Starts putting out some
Disney
sub-
Plus.
Oh God, bite your tongue. Bite your tongue.
sub series where the horse from the Rob Zombie movies is Michael Myers.
I don't know now. They took The Simpsons and made it a lot more edgy and gory looking.
Really?
Yeah, believe it or not, that Thanksgiving Treehouse of Horror Thanksgiving episode a couple years ago was like the most violent shit I've ever seen on The Simpsons. It was
Wasn't
awesome.
there one where like they break into a house? Or some kids break into a house?
I don't remember.
Maybe it was something I saw. It was pretty brutal. I'm kind of curious.
That's weird about shows like that, man. I remember, and it's like the Halloween movies kind of too. Like I can quote all these movies and TV shows from back in the day. I know everything about them, but like those same series, the newer movies and cartoons and stuff, I don't remember the one that much about the ones I watched the other day. You know what I mean?
As you get older, take my word for it. I can remember everything from when I was younger, all the TV stuff I used to, like I said, my wife
yeah.
jokes. She's like, you remember everything from when you were a kid, everything about Halloween, Kiss, guitars, metal. But you don't remember anything I said yesterday. I said, no, because it's all ingrained in my head from years ago.
No, I've never seen that.
Dude, they'll freak out when you see them.
Tell everybody what to check out.
I mean, I don't know if you want to. It's pretty brutal. Like it's
Well, I can't see what's it called.
You're not gonna be able to see it.
they can see it totally. Okay, it's
No, they can't see
Just
it.
say, yeah, blurry. What is
The
it?
Simpsons Couch Gag Part 1. You're next. The stop motion animation.
He's talking about gory and violence with The Simpsons.
Yeah, they're
Drop-
really on the couch, and then like these people come out of nowhere and they just get murdered.
Drop the link in the Instant Messenger. I'll check it out. Did you watch the movie I sent you? Remember I told the story about how that movie with the friggin' claymation penis that was killing people?
Oh yeah.
Did you ever watch it?
I haven't watched that yet.
I couldn't believe I found it. I was like, wow, I can't believe I actually found it.
Okay, he's sending you that. I'll remember to watch that later today.
Oh, it's
Yeah, that's crazy. I can't
it was and I haven't watched it in years. I was amazed I even found it. I like Googled claymation penis and that came right up, which is scary in itself. And I watched it again. I'm like, oh my God, you'll see. It's very, you want to talk about cheesy,
Yeah.
but it's just funny as hell. I mean,
Chris
it's not,
had another good point. Everybody likes to complain that each sequel ruins the original, and that's absolutely true. Either that or it's the greatest movie ever made. But yeah, everybody does seem to lean towards the original because most of the time, and in this case, in my opinion, the original. But I don't want it to get too touchy because let's be honest. If the original came out nowadays, it doesn't have the same snappiness that
right.
Penis.
It's
It doesn't have the same snappiness as
it's dated. It's dated for its time. I mean,
exactly.
that's
So-
why I
so-
talk to people that love Halloween 4 because that was some people like it's like a gateway drug. Whatever brought them into the franchise. Some people saw Halloween 4 and loved it. Then they went back to the other ones, and they could say Halloween 4 is their favorite. And I totally get that. Like Halloween for me was my gateway, so that'll always be my favorite.
No
But
doubt.
doesn't mean I don't like the other ones. And I know people. A friend of mine who said, "Oh, I love Halloween 6." He's like, "It was the first one I saw in the theater. I loved it." Then he revisited everything else, but that was his first one. It was his gateway drug.
Mhm.
That's his favorite, and that's cool. It doesn't always have to be age 1 for people. And I tell people that all the time. For me, I'm older, so that was my gateway. If I never saw that, I may have came in at a later date too.
Yeah. Well, it's called neuroassociative conditioning too. You could, in your subconscious, you can like a movie or a song or something like that because of where you were in life when you saw it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So life was a lot. I have a lot of flashbacks these days of like cool childhood memories and stuff. And it's just, it is what it is, my friend. It is what it is. So what do you say we discussed? I'm kind of looking down at this sheet. I'm excited for this part. The top, I said 4 because I didn't want it to be so obvious. Like the top 3, who's the top 3? Well, obviously 1, 2, 3 kind of thing. So I figured
Yeah,
it was a good number. And then we definitely need to discuss who the worst is in your opinion. So,
Yeah.
in your opinion,
Worst crown.
I'm just going to assume Nick Castle is number 1.
From you wanted me to just go? I can go from 4 to 1. I don't
Yeah,
need
go
to.
from 4 to 1. Do
Don't
that.
have to be too descriptive about it because it'll just take too much time. But in now everybody before everybody jumps down my throat, whoever's watching, this is my opinion. Doesn't mean it's everybody else's. For me, number 4. Can we do an honorable mention?
Sure.
Honorable mention category.
Yeah, because I did actually fight with this, but since the person did a lot more than this other person, I gave it to them. So my honorable mention is Aaron Armstrong, the guy that did the flashback. For that little bit that he did fantastic. I think if he was Michael Myers in a movie, he'd knock it out of the park.
Yeah.
So he's definitely my honorable mention. But number 4, I'm not a huge fan of the movies. But I like aspects of him. But I think Tyler Mane was awesome as a Michael Myers. He was tall, foreboding, scary. So I put him at number 4. Number 3, Dick Warlock,
Uh-huh.
H2. For me, number 2, and this could get a lot of people are going back and forth with 1 and 2 now. Obviously, I had to put James Jude Courtney.
Okay.
And number 1, I had to put Castle. Everybody's like, well, James Jude Courtney. I said, believe me, he's great. He did more movies than Castle, but Castle was the prototype, so I have to still stick with him.
So, okay. So just to recap, starting with number 1, what are the 4?
Number 1, I put Nick Castle.
Number 2?
Who'd you? Number 2, I did James Jude Courtney.
3?
Dick Warlock.
And 4?
Tyler Mane.
If you switch Tyler Mane and Dick Warlock, we had the exact same list.
And that could very easily be done because I give Tyler Mane all the credit in the world. I think he did a fantastic job as Michael Myers. I mean, you cannot like Rob Zombie's writing style because it's very trailer park trashy. But if you take the dialogue out and watch the movie, I thought he did a fantastic job as Michael Myers.
I always love those, and it definitely put a different twist on it, and that was super memorable at the time when the kid like beat the shit out of that other kid with that tree trunk.
That was awesome.
That was wicked badass. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So that was so yeah. I fought with it because I looked at it and I said, well, I have to put Tyler Mane in there because he was awesome, but definitely. I gave Aaron Armstrong a lot of props because I think he did a great job in the flashback scene. And I'm like, had they hired him to do a whole movie, I think he could pull it off. So that's why I said, let me give him an honorable mention.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really good.
So you were 4 to 1. You were Warlock.
Yep.
So you were Warlock, Mane, Courtney, Castle.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah, because Jim Courtney, like I said in the past, when I met him, I went to the H40 convention and met him before the movie even came out. So I didn't know anything about it other than what you saw in the commercial. You know what I mean? So, to this dude's credit, because I was super jealous of the motherfucker. I wish I played Michael Myers. You know what I mean? I got a jealous bone in my body for that kind of shit. But when I met him, he was sitting at the table. I walk up to him. He stands up, and I'm like, holy shit, this dude is shaped exactly like fucking Michael Myers. Like, what the fuck?
Oh, he is.
He's
perfect.
skinny, but he's huge at the same fucking time. It looks, it's a perfect style. I'm not going to sit here and critique his physique, but he definitely deserved it. And he's such a humble guy, and I've had great conversations with him. I'm sure many people have, but he deserves his moment in the sun for this stuff because he didn't have the greatest life growing up and all that other jazz. So he's definitely. I won't say anything about his personal life. That's not my business to say. But some of the conversations we've had, he definitely deserves better. And this is awesome.
No, it's great for him. And same thing. I do remember some stuff some interviews I did see with him. He talked about some personal stuff. And same thing. Yeah, I met him maybe a month or so after 2018. I met him, and yeah, like you said, super nice guy. You know, you sit there and chat with him. It's nice. I mean, obviously, you can't when you're waiting on the line with people, you can't sit there and talk to them for a half hour. But it's nice when when they don't rush you through the door. They're like, "Oh yeah, how you doing?" And I ask them a bunch of questions, and super nice. And
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't say enough things about him. And I've seen a lot. You know, I watch because like I said, I'm a night owl, so I'm up late and I watch a lot of YouTube crap when my wife goes to sleep. And I've seen a lot of people's rankings. I'm seeing a lot of people put James Jude Courtney ahead of Nick Castle, and I
Okay.
totally get it. I totally get it because he's done so much more. Nick Castle was the one movie, and even in the one movie, he didn't do everything because there was so many other people that filled in for him. But he created that foreboding. So to me, like I said, it's all I came in there. So to me, that is my gateway drug. So you go back to your gateway drug. But James Jude Courtney is right there, and I see a lot of people say, "Oh, he's better than Nick Castle," and there's an argument for that, and that's totally fine. I would never say, "Oh no, Nick Castle's the greatest of all time." Why? If that's your opinion, if you think he did a better job, that's cool.
Number 4, I put Dick Warlock. But to be honest with you, I put that because I think he is the 4th best Michael Myers, but not my 4th favorite.
Right. Exactly.
You know, you got to give him the credit because a lot of the moves and the way you tell someone walk like Michael Myers, they're going to walk like Dick Warlock. You know what I mean?
Like a robot.
Yeah, they're going to walk like him. And he kind of set that up that way. And so you got to give him the props to that.
That was nostalgia for me because I remember that was the first movie I saw in the theater. I saw Halloween 2 when it came out.
He did a good
It was
job.
great.
I wonder why he wasn't in the 4th one. Then I remembered they probably didn't want the fucking 6-year-old girl to be bigger than Michael Myers.
Yeah, he's not very tall. That's why he has such big shoes in the movie because he's got lifts on because he wasn't the tallest guy. But to me, and there's another nostalgia part of that too because that was the first Halloween I saw in the theater, Halloween 2, when it came out in '81. I went with my brother and my cousins, and at the time I was only, I was 8, I was 9 years old. So it scared the crap out of me. It didn't help. I can tell you a funny story. We're sitting in the back row of the theater, and right behind me, I'm right on the edge of where it's open to the back of the theater and a wall. Like, when you open up the door, they kind of have a wall there. So when you open the door, it doesn't shine light on the screen.
Yeah.
So I was 9 years old. So I was a little scared because I didn't know any better. And during the movies, one of my brother's friends kept coming behind and hiding and tapping me on the shoulder. It's scaring the fuck out of me. And I'm like this. And I wouldn't turn around. I'm like, because I'm scared shit.
That's evil.
And they're all laughing. And they're just sitting there tapping on the shoulder. Then finally I realized it was him. I'm like, you scared the crap out of me. But
my dad was a fucking torture artist because he would sit there when I was like 5 and 6 and we'd be somewhere. He'd be like, "Did you hear that?" And he'd say, "Oh my God, I think I just saw somebody by that tree." When we'd be like in a situation that was like in the woods at night or something like that, he would try to freak me out, and it worked. And every time I would walk down the hallway, when I'd get past the doorway, he'd say, "Look out," like that, like something reach his hand out. And I would start running, like freaking the fuck out. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then it got to a point where I had that problem for like a couple years when I was younger, like from 4 to 6, 4 to 7. I would walk down a hallway, and then when I get to a spot where a door was open, I'm like, "Oh shit!" And I would walk a little bit quicker, thinking something could reach out.
Well, I had the brother that was 6 years older than me, so he liked to torture me as a child.
That would definitely be some torture.
Yes, and he did. So be it. What are you gonna do? But yeah, I mean, he was good. But it's nice to have a brother that's that older because they could take you to things. But yeah, that was one of the instances where he tortured me. It scared me. I'll never forget it. I just kept that tap on my shoulder, and I'm like, I am not turning my fucking head. No way, because like I said, Halloween and Halloween 2 were kind of dated, but for the time, especially Halloween 2, because it was after Friday the 13th, so they upped the gore, so to speak, and the kills and everything. So you really hadn't seen that kind of stuff yet. I had seen Friday the 13th, but I don't think, I have to look at the date, but I don't remember if part 2 was out before that. But I remember, like I said, it scared the crap out of me. And I'll never forget that. I'm like, for the whole movie, I'm like, I'm not turning my head because you never know. And they were all laughing at me, but whatever. It was a fun memory, the way I look at it. But yeah, I like Dick Warlock. He had some good moments in it, but yeah, the robotic thing was a little
Yeah, and
too much.
I don't remember in part 1 him walking downstairs that slowly. As a matter of fact, he ass in the first one. He was like zip, 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 zip.
Yeah, he didn't waste any time in the first one. He was hauling ass down those steps.
It's almost like you ever walked down a flight of stairs like with a mask on, like you can't really look down because the mask wants to push on you. You know what I mean? Because of that.
Right.
So like you're looking forward, so you don't really see the stairs in front of you. And I wonder if he just walked like that because he was scared to death of fucking falling down the fucking stairs.
Busting his ass.
Because those were some serious stairs. Those weren't like carpeted house stairs. Those were hospital like cement stairs.
Cement stairs, man. You want to get out of the hospital. You don't want to stay there.
Yeah, he's a stunt man at the time too, so I'm sure he would prefer to get paid for stunts and not accidentally do them.
Who did you put for your? So we'll go with you first. Why don't you go back 4-1 on your worst?
All right, so go to the worst. We haven't discussed the worst yet, huh? So I'll start it out.
Yeah. I started the last one, so we'll let you get all the flack for saying who was the worst first.
The worst was Chris Durand. In my opinion, the worst was Chris Durand. I'm not a huge fan, and this is kind of where my thought process was. George Wilbur, he's a big name in the Michael Myers cast. He did part 4 and a bunch of part 6. But he was also the reason it looked like Michael Myers needed to go on a diet, in part 6, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And he looked like he had been eating well during the year before Halloween. So.
Lots of dogs.
Yeah, he's been eating lots of dogs or something. But definitely, well, I say that because the one thing I can't help but, and he's the coolest guy, don't get me wrong.
Oh, they're all great guys. I've met maybe 1 or 2 of them I haven't met, but they've always been nice guys. Sure.
But he unfortunately just didn't have the shape, in my opinion, that looked right. Like you could, like what I said with Jim Courtney, you could see he was like the shape of Michael Myers. You should, right. And if that's the majority of it, you should have a certain physique and shape, in my opinion. Which,
and like Brett mentioned in the chat, he even said they casted him well, and his age matches up too because he's the same age as Michael Myers. He's got to be 61 or 62 now.
Man, another thing, I watched H2O in the theater, and everybody started laughing when Michael Myers made his first appearance in the background, because he was standing like this, like so goofy, like, you know what I'm talking about? When in the house.
Yep.
He looks so not the shape. It was bad. And then he did mimic all and that was the birth of those fucking scenes where he'd hold on with one hand to come down from the
yeah, all of a sudden he's Superman.
That was funny as shit. I couldn't believe that they did that. And then, if you remember correctly, they repeated that kick-ass move in Resurrection too.
Yes. You're like, oh, that was so bad. Let's do it in this movie too.
Oh man,
but that was the best. I remember being in the theater with my friend Pat, who was a diehard Halloween fan too, and we're watching it, and I'll just never forget, the scene where she turns and then he's in the background of the house. I just it's like he was like coming out of the kitchen like. Where are the napkins?
Yeah.
I just need to clean something up. And we both looked at each other like, what the fuck was that all about? Yeah. It was just so, same thing. We started laughing and I'm like, oh God, is it going to be one of those movies? And same thing. It's got some redeeming value to it. There are some things about it, every movie's got something redeeming about it. So I don't.
Yeah.
But
So
obviously,
did you
some
say
people like it more than others.
who you think the worst is yet?
I did for me the top the four, and like when I say worst, if I say worst on number four, it doesn't mean that I didn't hate any of these people. I'm
Uh,
just saying if I look at the movie objectively as a Halloween fan, like who did I like better? So for me, if I count back from four, number four would be George Wilbur.
okay.
Same thing. That's like me playing Michael Myers. There's a reason I don't dress up like Michael Myers because I look like a fat, like I look like a big giant fat Michael Myers. Everybody's like, oh, everybody's like, you don't put the mask on. I go, it wouldn't be the castle stretch, it'd be the castle burst. I said so. I said no. They go. They should have put him on a diet or got somebody else. And he's a nice guy. There's some moments where he's okay, when he's foreboding and you don't really see him. And number three, and this guy is super nice, but I didn't care for his performance. Don Shanks in Part 5.
Okay.
If you ever meet him, he's a super nice guy for me. And then I just kind of reversed, I think, from you. My number two was Chris Durand, and my number one was Brad Lurie.
Okay, so we kind of are in the same opinion with the last two then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because yeah, and it looks like Brett says his was Brad Lurie, but for me, I guess I was able to with him. There was a lot more darkness in the movie, I think, maybe or something, because it didn't. Maybe they hit him and didn't. I don't know. I can't really remember him much because all I think about is Busta Rhymes smacking him in the fucking face, and he turns around and walks away. I can't even begin to think about what the fuck Resurrection was even about.
Same thing. Like my buddy Pat, who was a diehard Halloween fan, I was in the theater with him for that one too. Yeah, we used to go before he moved out to California. We'd go to all the movies every time they came out with new Halloween. And the same thing when he smacked him, we were both like what the? Like somebody just smacked Michael Myers and he just walked away like a bitch. It's like what are we watching? It was that was pretty hard. And honestly, I don't understand why. I mean, I do understand why if you watch, I forget if it's the H4 documentary that was on the Shout Factory or was it Behind the Mask? One of the ones where, because one of the people I didn't have on my list who didn't do the whole movie was Tom Morga in Halloween 4.
Yeah.
If you watch, if you see the scenes that Tom Morga was actually in, they were good.
Yeah, he did the bandage scenes.
He did the bandage scene. He did the scene when he was in the rocking chair and pushed the girl right up into the wall, and one or two other ones where but I think he did great. But I don't think it was more his acting versus. I mean, if you ever watched that where they had the whole story with who was the makeup effects guy that passed away? He was a director. And they got in a whole big argument about it, and they tried to fire him, and they fired Tom Morga. But then I heard there was the one story about that, and the other story about how Mustafa Akkad didn't like the way he was playing it, and he went with so they fired him and brought in George Wilbur. But I thought Tom Morga would have done a better job if he would have done the whole movie.
I think so too. And when I was talking about seeing the shape of the person, Tom Morga has a Michael Myers shape.
He had a better build. He absolutely had a better build.
Yep.
So I never understood that. Are you near a train?
Yes.
I'm like, you're a train.
Yep, you'll have to forgive me. These railroad tracks here are in a movie with Martin Sheen. The mayor was telling me about it not too long ago. I don't remember what he said it was, but I guess this is a pretty famous corner, believe it or not. But yeah, I mean, definitely. Oh, and he was Jason as well too in the fucking Part 5, wasn't he? He was he was Jason when Tommy was having the flashbacks.
I believe so, yeah.
Or the mental issues or whatever. But he was great. And then we didn't talk about Michael Lerner. He was super cool when I met him. He'll sit there and chat with you about the stunts and all this stuff, and it's kind of funny. He said, "Oh, they wouldn't give me anything." Because I asked him if he was able to keep the mask. He's like, "Oh, they didn't give me shit." So, he was a funny dude. But and And then who else? Who else is there that we didn't bring up? We're not going to talk about the young idiots. I mean, no offense to them. I have one in particular that's annoying.
Let me see. Who do we have on the list that let me see? So Halloween 2 is Warlock. Well, there's no 3. So 4 was Morga and Wilbur. Hey, Michael Lerner. So 5 is Don Shanks. 6, Wilbur. Then Duran. Then Brad Lurie. Tyler Main. Who are we missing? Courtney Armstrong. Oh, who are we missing?
We're not getting into the other 4 or 5 people from part 1 or nothing like that.
Nah, that's. I mean, then we can sit there and say, "Oh, Deborah Hill was horrible in that one scene."
Actually,
She shrank.
I thought I heard something on like one of those Sean Clark videos that maybe she wasn't the one that was standing beside the house when Tommy looks out the window. Have you heard this one yet?
It could be because I know they shot. I mean, she said that she filled in, but that doesn't necessarily mean that might have been the shot they used.
Right.
You know, it could very well be because because there's still a lot of confusion with the first movie because, you know, everything wasn't as documented as all the other ones are because it wasn't expected to be anything near where it is.
Brett Patrick does bring up a good point. We don't want to talk about all the different like demos, or cameo ones, but fucking Tommy Lee Wallace. He's in too much of the classic, like too classic of a scene to ignore.
Oh yeah, and this in the closet scene, he kicked ass, and it was funny too because I remember watching it as a kid, and like as you can see the face, the shape of the face was different.
Yeah.
And then as years went by, and you learned more and more about Halloween, and I'm like, oh, now it makes sense because anytime you saw Nick Castle, it always looked like a thinner face because Tommy Lee Wallace's is a little bit rounder, but it made sense. But yeah, I mean, so there was how many people in the first movie? There was Tommy Lee Wallace, obviously Nick Castle, Tommy Lee Wallace, supposedly Deborah Hill,
the dog trainer,
the dog trainer, and Jim Winburn. Jim Winburn.
Jim Winburn.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So it was like, well, Nick Castle didn't play the whole movie. I'm like, I get it, but he sort of, you know, his mannerisms sort of created that whole thing. So that's why, and like I said, I'll go back to my gateway drug. That's the movie that started it for me. So, and believe me, it's tough because James Jude Courtney just freaking outstanding in the last 2 movies. I mean, you can say what you want about the movies, the dialogue, you know, some of the stupid shit that went on, but as far as his performance, out friggin' standing.
Well, I'm going to close by saying this. I hope what you discussed this evening, that the Halloween Ends plot has a fuckload of flashback scenes that just kick ass. That's what I fucking know. So I'm not sure what you heard, but hopefully there's a lot of flashbacks because I thought that was the best part. Personally.
Oh, me too. I was like I was giddy in the theater when they came right there, like right away. The flashback was there, and it was like it's Halloween 1978. I was like, oh, I was like all giddy like a kid, and I'm like, oh, how freaking cool is this? And the way everything looked and everything was lit, it took you right back there. So kudos to them for doing that. But Brett Patrick's got a good question, but I don't know how you could even do it. Who played Michael the best as a kid? I mean, well, Will Sandler really didn't play it much. He just stood there.
He just stood there, but
he just sat there and looked pretty.
But then again, we're having a discussion, in all fairness, about Michael Myers actors. Let's be honest, there's not a whole fucking lot of acting and shit required. Yeah. You know what I mean? Versus like a regular drama role or some shit like that.
I mean, you can really only use, Daig because he was the only one that acted.
I know my pet peeve is with Gary Clayton from Resurrection because he signed my poster with a black marker. I got over 100 signatures. This thing is priceless to me. And he signed it with a black marker. And I'm like, I think the next person that signs it, I might have signed right over the top of his. To be honest.
And he was the one that did the scene that they didn't use, correct?
He was the one that was in the scene where they're watching old
Old
videos,
footage. Yeah.
old home videos, and he's just standing there looking all pissed as a kid.
I thought that was awesome. That was pretty cool when I saw that. I don't know why it would have been better. It would have been better than the rest of the movie.
Well, he didn't sign your poster in black fucking marker neither. I can tell you that.
Did he have that angry look on his face when he did it?
Oh, he looked like he was stoned and shit, to be honest with you. And I get it. But,
What was that, age 40?
Yeah. And then there was Adam Gunn from part 2. He has a face that sort of stands out in my head. And then, Will Sandon in part 1, he's the classic.
Yeah.
I guess he would be like the Nick Castle of it, because he's kind of like the one you think of when you think of young Michael Myers. Like that is what it is. Just like you, I'm sure, think of Gene Simmons when you think of Kiss, right?
That's it. You got to think of there's the fearsome foursome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I like the two guys that have been filling in all these years. It's not a bad thing. It's nice. They're doing their thing. If I had the opportunity to do it, I would do it too. But obviously, you'll go back to what your favorite is, which is the original.
Yes, absolutely. Well, my friend, that was a lot of fun having this discussion with you this evening. I hope to do it again next Tuesday if you're down. And we should just get a little bit of look for somebody to come on next time, and we'll see if we want to start bringing people in and shit like that.
Yeah, it was fun having Gabriel on. If you guys want to come on and do show us some of your collections, because the whole theory we started this behind was we want to see people's collections and discuss that, as well as the movies and everything else that we just discussed. But I know a few people, so I'll see if I can get them out of their shell. Maybe we can get them in there for next Tuesday. And if you know anybody, reach out to some people if you know anybody, and we'll bring some people on. What the hell is this? Nazi party? Oh God, don't you just freaking hate?
Well, on that awesome note, we'll just get out of here.
Exactly, man. Have a good week, guys. I will see you. See you Tuesday.